Lang is lit, yo. Hello everyone, my name is Jonah and I am one of your hosts for IB Studying. And in this video, I'll be giving you a rundown as to what to expect from HL Lang Lit. So putting it simply, it's your good old plain and simple English class. So no need to fret. So the curriculum has three main components: time and space, readers, writers, and text, intertextuality, aka being able to connect the different texts you learn throughout the course. So let's go into detail how that'll look like from the perspective of a current junior taking IB. So in the first semester, the teacher isn't gonna be pushing you off a cliff, no worries. So at least for my school, the first month or two was given as an IB overview. As in, you're just getting used to Lang Lit by learning the proper terminology and the concept of a global issue. So during this, we were taught to analyze literary texts like poems with these concepts in mind. Then later on, we analyzed another literary text and a non-literary text. This time with culture as the main focus or inquiry, like the text we analyzed for a while was Persepolis. Alright, for the second semester, we learned literary lenses and continued the current style of IB learning. This time with the main component, time and space. And this semester, we studied more literary texts and non-literary body of works like Kindred, My Family's Slave, Othello, etc. Now for what will be expected from second year. First sem of senior year, we go to the second component, readers, writers, and text. This time, through literary circles and close analysis of texts like literary texts and non-literary texts. So basically, you're following the usual pattern of Lang Lit, and at this point, you've kind of gotten used to the flow, so no worries right there. Alright, next, you'd be going to the third component, intertextuality. So for intertextuality, you'll be comparing literary texts and non-literary texts. Essentially, all of the texts you did before this point. So, looks like there is a purpose for analyzing that many texts. So, for this, you'll be expected to do your main IB assessments for Lang Lit, which would be the individual oral. So, how can I use language to analyze, interpret, argue, and persuade? In the IO, yep, that's the acronym, you'll basically choose a non-literary text and a literary text, and then do a 10-minute oral response as to how these two texts communicate a certain global issue. And then you'll be outlining your HL essay, which is gonna be about 1200 to 1500 words. And it's basically you're analyzing a work you learned during Lang Lit. Then for second sem, it's essentially going to be submitting the HL essay, reflection, and reviewing for the IB exams. And keep in mind, throughout the course, you will be constantly updating the learner portfolio as to not overload. My bad. And keep in mind, throughout the course, you will be constantly updating the learner portfolio. And as to not overload your guys' brain, it ain't that deep. Basically, the assessments and formatives you do will be posted here, so no biggie. It's just, posting all that. So, and finally, HL Lang Lit's exams would be the IO, which we previously mentioned is the internal assessment, Paper 1, which is a guided textual analysis on a non-literary passage or passages from different text types. And the Paper 2 is a comparative essay on two literary works studied in which you answer one of four chosen questions. And finally, the HL essay, which we mentioned before, you will be working on in your second sem of senior year. Well, that's essentially everything, folks. That's Lang Lit. So I hope this video helped all of you, future IB Lang Lit folks. Keep on reading, and remember, Lang is lit.